As a zoologist and ecologist for over 38 years, I know a pond when it's out of balance. The Proksa Park pond is overloaded with turtles. If we don't get them out soon, it's gonna crash. You might be wondering why I'm hanging out in a park. I'm actually in Berwyn, Illinois at Proksa Park, which is absolutely spectacular. Tons of people, very well utilized. I love this in any type of an environment, but unfortunately this pond, which is actually the centerpiece of the entire park, has come into a state of disarray. It's been slowly declining over the past few years. We're getting a lot of detritus in the bottom, a lot of excess sediments. All that stuff creates a toxic environment. So what we had to do is come in and rescue turtles. Not just a couple, I'm talking a lot of turtles, and I'm going to show you how many we actually pulled out of here. Not only turtles, but we're actually capturing some of the native minnows, as well as different types of goldfish and different fish that have been living inside the pond. We're going to store them in temporary holding tanks while we're doing this renovation project, and then we're going to put in a new pumping system, new filter system, a new fountain system, circulation jets. We want to create an environment that is going to be thriving for years to come. We are deep into this pond renovation project, and now we're getting down to all that deep muck area. So what we've been doing, we've been pumping the water out of the bottom, using it for cleaning everything. So everything has been flushed down to this area. We have all the turtles, we have all the goldfish are down in the bottom of here. We had a huge temperature crash. So now everything is huddled down in the bottom, which is actually going to make our job a little bit easier. So what I'm going to try to do right now is pump out some of this material as that slurry, and then we're going to start moving all these animals here in the next hour or two. First one, can't even see what it is. It's all covered in mud. Get the shells all kind of beat up over here. Doesn't look good. It's all kind of deformed. So irregular shape on the shell. I don't know if that was broken. Scar right there. Big giant leech on them. It's already stressed. Number 13. So we started pulling some of these turtles out of that deep mud. So this is a red-eared slider, and you can kind of see he's got a very slight reddish color by his side, right behind his eye. This, I'm guessing, was somebody's pet. So what happens, people buy these from who knows where, and they're gonna raise them up, and then they get big. They're gonna live 20 plus years in captivity, sometimes even over 30 years. Huge investment that you're making whenever you purchase a turtle like this. So what we have to be conscious of, though, is you can't release these into the native waterways. These are not from our area, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna outcompete the painted turtles that we have in our area here in the Illinois. So we wanna be conscious of all that type of stuff, because these guys can take over. Not only that, but they can actually bring in some diseases and some other issues that could actually infect the native populations. So here's the situation of what's actually happening at the park. So what we have is we have a fairly shallow pond. This is all covered in, they have like those big rocks and things like that over on the side. Down here, it's just thick layers of river rock kind of working its way along everything. There are some little boulders and stuff like that mixed in. So we know we have all these turtles, but there's also some other things that are happening inside this pond from a biological perspective. So what we're finding down here in the bottom, this is deep. This is probably 8 feet total. Most of that depth is in this deep pocket here. This section here is fairly shallow, 2.5 feet deep. So down here in this bottom, we're finding 2 to 3 feet of just muck and mud. It is thick. Anybody that has been in a lake, you're probably familiar with this. If you have a fish tank, and if you've stirred up the bottom of that gunk down at the bottom, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's gonna stink. Hydrogen sulfide, methane gases and stuff like that are gonna be emitted. So from a biological perspective, this is a dangerous situation for the animals living inside of here. So this is 8 feet over here. So instead of being 8 feet, now we're down to about 4.5 to 5 feet over in this middle section before you get to the bottom. So what happens is you don't have as much depth, so it takes away some of the water volume. All of that organic muck down there, and that's falling from, like, anytime you get leaves and stuff like that, you have debris falling in from the surface. What happens is that debris becomes saturated and it just slowly sinks and it falls down to the bottom. And in a really healthy environment where you have high dissolved oxygen, you have lots of good water flow, the organisms, the little bacteria, the shredders, all the insects and stuff like that, they're gonna shred up any of that stuff. So it's basically, it's food. We're talking about leaves, lawn clippings, things like that, as well as all the handfuls of food that people throw in to feed the turtles and the fish and all that stuff. If that stuff becomes saturated, it falls to the bottom. Under high biological activity, that stuff is going to be broken down and it's going to be cycled fairly quickly. But what happens in this situation is those organisms are aerobic. They need dissolved oxygen to function. So down here in this thick mud layer, that's anoxic. It means there's no dissolved oxygen in that area. So that muck just continues to build up on top of each other, and over time it's going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. And what that does, it takes away the necessary water volume for all the animals. That layer, they're not swimming down into that thick muck. We can barely walk in it. So the turtles are going to live, they're going to overwinter in this very shallow section up here on the very top. And that's because they still can kind of live in there. The water, it's going to be nice and warm, but down here at the very bottom, it is going to be nasty. There's going to be leeches, there's going to be all types of parasites and stuff like that. They're going to want to stay in that more aerobic zone of that muck layer, which is where they normally would overwinter. But what's actually happening in this situation is we're starting to see a shift. It's changing. It's becoming a eutrophic situation, and that means there's high amounts of stuff in the water. Water clarity is bad. pH is going to fluctuate all over the place, and it stresses out all the animals. The other thing that I think is very interesting in here, we have a few native species, but it's mostly these non-native species that are living. These ones could actually handle a wider range of actually water chemistry, and all the fish in here, it is overloaded with goldfish. The only native species we found are tiny little minnows. And the reason that it's overloaded with goldfish is because they can handle low oxygen environments. They could live in anoxic situations for actually months at a time. They can handle crazy pH swings and temperature swings and all that stuff. So the native species are not going to live in there. So our goal is to cut back on some of the goldfish and eventually have it slowly changed out to native fish species, because that's exactly what we want to teach from an educational standpoint. So actually, how are we actually going to make this actually happen? So here's our pond right now. This is actually right at the very beginning on the very first day that we started out. Pumping system is located over here. We're going to leave the pump in that area because of the proximity of the electric right in this situation. But we are going to be changing up that pump system. So we have a whole brand new system going in. It's going to actually have a skimmer system. It's going to be much more efficient. The other thing that we're going to be doing is that wetland filter is going to be located way up in this section over here. And we're going to put in a series of circulation jets along this edge, and there'll be a piping system going all the way back over to that main pond. So other than that, we're not changing the shape of the pond whatsoever. We're going to drain it down. We want to clean all of that stuff out, and here we actually are pumping out the water, and you have a better idea of what that intake area looks like. And we are going to completely change the shape of this. We're going to eliminate this back corner to try to install a better pumping system. And this is what that pumping system actually is going to look like. And this thing's massive. This unit is 8 feet tall, 9 feet wide. So this is a massive precast tank. It has pump access areas up here on the top. So we're going to set this thing in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to cut a hole here in the front of this. And we're going to take the rubber membrane and we're going to actually bolt it to it. So now, once this is installed, this is going to allow all the water to fall in this tank. But what we're doing right now is we're just positioning everything to get ready for that. And this is what that excavation is going to look like. As we move along, that tank is going to sit right over in this section. and then that's going to be our connection for all the water to flow into that pumping system. So this is going to be much more efficient. And again, the pumping system is really, really important in this type of a system because it's going to capture debris. And I just talked about it with all that leaf debris falling down. If we can capture that stuff as it's floating on the surface before it has a chance to sink, it's going to allow us to increase the overall water quality because we're physically removing that material before it has a chance to sink to the bottom and start to decay. That's a very, very important piece. And when we put all these different things into play, we get really, really, really good results. And that is the goal of our entire project here, is we want to deliver healthy water environments for all the animals. And in the same time, we're actually going to come in, we're going to evaluate the number of animals that we're pulling out so we could actually reintroduce and put the right number of species back in place where we could have a healthy environment for many years to come.
All right, we got 23 turtles so far, which is a fraction of the amount that are in here. I'm afraid to actually walk in the bottom because you step on something, you don't know if it's a rock or if it's a turtle.
I don't think you meant to grab a turtle there.
I thought it was another disc.
I saw that.
So far we've caught 56 of these guys. Somebody guess how many we're gonna find total. We've received permission from the Department of Natural Resources on this project to actually take a few of these turtles back to Aqualand, which is fantastic because you know we have Greg's Turtletopia, so these are going to be some great additions. Well, it has been a successful week and a half out here in Berwyn. We have officially found 110 turtles on this small pond. Way, way too many. But that's what happens when people get pets. They can't take care of them anymore. They release them into the wild. They might start breeding here. That might put pressure on other animals. So way too many in this environment. We are going to redistribute them, working with Department of Natural Resources to get that figured out. There's going to be about 10 of them that are going to go back into this pond, just so all the people that fell in love with all these turtles will still have something to look at. Not including all the fish, which we are overrun with goldfish as well. But on top of all that, we keep finding more and more discs buried out in the mud. Our count earlier was at 127. We are now up to 149 of these guys. So 149 Frisbee golf discs pulled out of that pond. This little guy is going to come back to the office with us. So I just fell in love with that shell, personality. It's just been an absolutely beautiful little turtle. He is going to be rehomed in Greg's Turtletopia, and he will be a great reminder of all the incredible work that we did right here for the city of Berwyn.